shocked. I can't believe it. I'm feeling really good. I'm so happy to be, for one, to just have made the team, and I'm so happy the selection of girls that's going with me in the 400 hurdles, and about the world record, man, I'm just shocked. I don't think it's hit me yet.
You didn't know it could be that first?
You know, I've been kind of hitting that time at practice consistently, and my coach is just like, he said, you know, there's no way you can't do it. You just got to execute off that last 40, and his words are just like, drop your arms, kind of hit me that last 40, and I just was trying to hold on.
What does it mean to be the best ever in this event?
I did. I saw that it was 19 before it rounded up to 20, and at that point I knew.
Dalilah, in Oslo, obviously in the closing stages, Sydney came back and reeled you in. Was that on your mind at all in that last down the stretch?
You know, Sydney has always had an amazing finish, and that's always on the back of your mind. Ashley and Sydney both have a great finish. Yeah, so it's always on my mind, but really I was just looking to the finish line, and I knew if I just kept my form, I'd cross first.
Were you ever thinking at all today that there was a world record on the cards?
I'm sorry, what was
Were
that?
you ever thinking at all today at any stage that there was a world record? I mean, the conditions didn't kind of...
You know, I was hoping for it this whole weekend, and, you know, funny enough, I kind of got a little injured about 2 weeks ago. I had a crazy fall, and so we've been kind of shutting me down, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things you're just kind of hoping for the best. So yesterday, it was like, okay, I'm ready to run again, and I can do it. And today, the rain, so that was another, like, setback, you know, in your mind. But I just kind of trusted in what we had been working for up until this point.
Can you talk about the strength of the U.S. women's 400 hurdling team?
Man, it's so strong, and I think, you know, when it's such a strong field as it is, that's where world records can be broken at, and I've said that early in the year. I think we all just been fighting for those 3 top spots, and we've been pushing each other just, you know, mentally and physically on the track, and just, we know what each other's capable of, and we all want to be the best, and we all want to come out on top, but more than anything, we want to represent Team USA, so I'm happy to be doing that with these other 2 girls.
How does this race compare to the 2017 one? I know you just got the world record, so a little different, but this loaded group again coming together to produce something epic.
You know, this year's been a little different for me. In 17, I was not expecting for a fast time, and I just wanted to go out there and make the team, and this year, the world record's been on my mind. I think, you know, I knew the field was so strong going in, and I think we all just decided, like, that's what we would have to chase for to make the team, and that's been my focus. So this year, the world record's definitely been on the back of my mind.
Dalilah, you said you fell 2 weeks ago. When and where was that, and what did you injure?
Well, I didn't really get injured, but I did hit my head. So I had a little mild concussion, which was crazy. Just in shock, so I know I'm feeling that same feeling today in shock, so I know what that's like. But I was okay. I just scraped up a little, just skin scrape, nothing major.
Was it in practice though?
In practice, I fell, yes. Not surprisingly enough, not over the hurdles, just running flat. Some of those freak things that just wasn't paying attention and went down.
Was Rio, if I remember right, that was rainy too. Are you just good in the rain?
Man, you know, Ashley said that to me before. She's like, you're the one that brings the rain. I'm like, no, I don't know what it is. But we always seem to get the rain, the 400 hurdlers. I don't know what it is. So I think we're just all prepared for it, and we all, at this point, know how to run in it. So I remember seeing Benjamin. I was kind of thinking about him winning NCs. Was that last year?
Yeah.
And I remember him doing it in the rain and the cold, and I'm like, if he can do it, I definitely can do it too.
How does this compare to the Olympic gold? I mean, this is seemingly a similar achievement.
Oh man, they're up there. They're both up there. They're definitely both up there. I definitely, that year, the gold was so far from my mind. So it was just an amazing achievement at the time. That definitely wasn't the goal going into 16. It was just, I want to make it as a 400 hurdler was the goal, and it was crazy to win this year. I've had a couple races on my belt. I have a couple championships under my belt, so it's definitely a different atmosphere, a different perspective I'm coming with, but they're both definitely up there.
Do you think the record could go again? The way you girls are pushing each other, the competitiveness, do you think it could go again? How you made that?
I do. I think it's definitely just the beginning. I think that 52 is definitely going to get broke. If not by me, then it's definitely the other women.
With all the attention Sydney's gotten, do you feel like you were underrated at all coming in?
I do a little bit. I think people always kind of root for the underdog, I guess, in the sport, and that's just kind of natural. But I'm saying that with funny because I felt like the underdog in the race. So, it is what it is, and I'm happy for her. I hope she knows I'm happy. She's happy for me as well.
Is it weird thinking of yourself, or other people thinking of you that way when you are the Olympic champion?
You know what? I think it's definitely kept me humble this year, and it's definitely motivated me even more. So in hindsight, I think it's kind of been an asset for me this year, just keeping that motivation and knowing it's going to be a difficult race, and I'm going to have to work really hard for it.
You said you've hit times in practice that told you this sort of thing was possible. Times for what? Like, what sort of workout specifically told you this was possible?
You know, we've been kind of taking it, going out to 8 hurdles, going out to 9 hurdles, and I've been consistently either at record pace or under it for 9 hurdles.
I'm sorry. How much do you feel like Oslo helped you? I mean, you're never lacking for motivation, but just experiencing that race, the two of you side by side, and then obviously the semifinals yesterday, again side by side. How much do you think that benefited you?
It benefited me tremendously, honestly. When the field is so good, you can't have a bad race. And if any one of us have a bad day, we are not going to win. And that's the type of field that the U.S. has. In that race, I was pushing it. Honestly, a lot of people kind of were asking me, like, were you nervous? Even my coach asked me that. And it was like, I was trying something different. I think when you're trying to break a world record and you're trying to run fast times, you got to take risks. And in that race, I took a risk. And I wanted to push the back stretch and see what I could do coming home. And it wasn't there, but it was a learning. I learned from it. And it just set me up this race to know how hard I can go in the backstretch.
Do you remember when you first believed that you could break the world record?
It was incredible. I think when I ran 50, it was 2.6. It was a good race, but in that race, actually, I felt like I could run faster. And I remember coming across the line and feeling like I was just so happy to have made the team, and the time hit me second. Like, oh wow, that's pretty close. And I remember feeling like it wasn't all out. And unfortunately, that year after that, I hurt my hamstring, and it was just about let's refocus and let's try to get this hamstring strong again, and let's try to do what we can do at Worlds, and at Worlds was just what I could do. But that's been kind of in my mindset last year. We kind of just focused for this year.
Based on this race, did you see any mistake, and do you think you can do better?
I wouldn't say I don't know about do better, but seeing that's a world record. But it wasn't a perfect race, I guess, in terms of what I was hoping to do step-wise, step pattern.
Like when?
I switched at hurdle 8, and I was kind of hoping to switch at hurdle 10. So it was not the plan I wanted to go with. But sometimes that happens when you're trying to turn over, and I just, I had to put my foot down and take the hurdle with my opposite leg, and I just had to kind of refocus and try to keep that same turnover, knowing I was going to be running an extra step.
Who's your coach?
Did you ever believe, or have you and Boogie ever had a conversation about thinking that you or somebody else could ever be a 51-second hurdler?
Oh man, I think when I was training back with, yes, actually yes. I think 51 is every 400 hurdler's goal time, and with the record at being 52.3, it was kind of like it's so close to 51, is it possible? So I think all us 400 hurdlers are always thinking about 51.